between these applications using standardized contracts like share. So more on contracts. Another important contract that everybody must understand is the search contract. You can make your application searchable because most of the applications that we use in the modern world support some kind of search capabilities, right? Now, an application can, in the modern UI world, an application can make itself searchable by subscribing to the search contract. Let me show you an example of search. So I'm taking you back to the Orders Manager application to see how search works in this application. So this application has subscribed to the search contract. So let's say the execution trader wants to search for all the orders where security is sapient. SAPE stands for sapient. So what he's going to do is he's going to bring up the charms bar, and this time he's going to select the search pane. So now you would notice that, you know, while you want to search, when you're in the context of the application, you know, the search text already has search hints. So you could search based on deal ID, you could search based on security or on counterparty, right? So what I can say is I can search for all the orders which have security as sapient, and when I hit on the search, here is what I'm presented with. So notice the search screen. It will give me all the results where it will give me all the orders where the security is sapient. Yeah, so that's one usage of search. Now let's say I'm doing something else. I'm on some other application. Let's say I'm on the People's app. You know, I just showed you this app. Let's say I'm doing something over here. I'm working, and suddenly, you know, let's say I'm a portfolio manager, right? And I want to search for all the orders which belong to the deal that I had created. So what I will say is that go and search for orders that belong to deal ID 0003, and I want to perform this search using the Orders Manager application. So my Orders Manager application is listed over here in the list of searchable applications because it subscribes to the search contract. So when I invoke the search on the Orders Manager application, the application comes up, it actually gets activated, and you would see the search result. Now this time you would notice that the result is in a slightly different format because there is a deal information on the search page which gives you the information for that deal, which is deal 0003, and also it gives you the orders that belong to the deal 0003. The important point that I'm trying to highlight over here is that search is a contract as well as it is an activation mechanism, right? So as architects and developers, we need to be cognizant about taking decisions as to what are the activation points that our application needs to expose. For example, the Orders Manager application, we wanted to expose an activation point over search. So we want that, you know, even if the application is not running and somebody wants to perform a search on the Orders Manager application, while the search is performed, the application gets invoked by the search contract. So moving back to the presentation, the other important aspect what we can do by making use of the search and other charms is this whole mashup scenarios, right? So since there are several different ways of collaborating between Metro applications, you can think of powerful mashup scenarios which, you know, earlier were difficult to conceptualize. Let me just take you through a quick example of a mashup scenario. So again, going back to the Orders Manager application. Now let's say this time what the execution trader wants to do is that he wants to get more information on the security which is on this currently selected order. So the security on this order is AMZN, which is Amazon.com's common stock. So what he could do is he could bring up the commands bar and he could click on the More button. Now the moment he clicks on the More button, the search pane opens up, and this time you would notice that in the search text box, the name of the security is already fed in. We have another application which is a Microsoft standard application, which is called as Finance. Now, this Finance application is capable of bringing in a lot of data about a security that you might want to enter in. So I'm going to select the Finance application to see what happens when the Finance application is invoked. So now you see that the Finance application gets invoked, and this is bringing in all the details about Amazon as a security. So it's bringing in pricing information, last open, last close, news, and all that related stuff. And this is precisely what my execution trader wanted. Now, in the absence of such kind of mashup scenarios, as a developer or as an application architect, I would have had to build this functionality within my Orders Manager application itself. But with the but because of the search contract or the search charm, I'm able to create powerful mashup scenarios like this. Since we were talking about activations, the other thing about activation is, there are a few other ways in which, there are in fact multiple other ways in which you can, activate your applications. I'm not going to be talking all of the activation mechanisms, but, one of the other activation mechanisms is a protocol activation mechanism, by which what an application can do is that it can register itself with the operating system by giving a particular protocol. So just to show you an example of protocol activation, what we can do is we can go back to the Orders Manager application, and let's say the scenario that I'm trying to address is that the execution trader wants to add a watch to a security which is there on the currently selected order. So let's say on this order the select security is Google, and I want to add a watch. I want to keep a watch on the prices of the price movement of this security. So what I could do is, from the Orders Manager app, I can bring up the command bar, and I can click on the Add to Watch button. Now notice very carefully what is going to happen when I click on the Add to Watch button. So when I clicked on Add to Watch, that brought up the watch list application with the Add Watch window open in, and you would notice that the security that I had selected on the order is automatically pre-populated in over here, right? So I can place a watch order over here. I can put a watch over here and say Add to Watch. The interesting part to notice over here is that watch list application has registered with the operating system with a specific protocol, and the Order Manager application has just invoked or launched a URI. It is given a launch URI command to the operating system, giving that protocol and the data it wanted to share with that protocol. And the framework, which is the Modern UI framework, has automatically launched the watch list Modern UI application. So that's about the protocol activation part. Another similar example of protocol activation is, let's say this time what I want to do is I want to analyze the price trends or the price movement trend of Google as a security. So what I can do is I can bring up the app bar, and this time I'll click on the Analyze button. Now when I click on the Analyze button, this opens up the Analytics application, and it shows me the price movement of Google. So again, what the Analytics app has done over here is that it has registered itself with a particular protocol, and the Orders Manager application has launched a URI giving that protocol. So the other point which I wanted to bring in over here is that protocol activate, all these contracts and activation mechanisms are applicable to all kind of modern UI applications, irrespective of the platform they have been built in. So Analytics is a HTML5 JavaScript application, and Watchlist was C# XAML based application. There is completely no distinction in the look and feel and in the behavior of these contracts and the protocols, irrespective of the platform of development. So key learning from over here is that make use of these contracts, think about mashup scenarios, be watchful of what are the activation mechanisms that you need, or activation points that you need to enable in your application, keeping in mind the benefits that these contracts and mechanisms can give you. Now, another very important concept on the modern UI is that the modern UI lays a lot of emphasis on standards and guidelines. So there are guidelines available for navigation, there are guidelines available for touch, mouse, and keyboard interaction, there are guidelines available for even commanding, and obviously there are standard guidelines available for charms like search and share. The idea behind having these strong guidelines is that the look and feel between applications and their behavior becomes very consistent, right? And the users who are using these applications should have a consistent look and feel when they move from one application to the other application. Not just in terms of look and feel, but the overall usability experience should be consistent. The second point behind having a strong emphasis on guidelines and standards is that since modern UI apps can run on a plethora of devices, the user experience on each of these devices for these applications should be consistent, which is difficult to achieve, which has been difficult to achieve so far on any of these desktops and mobile-based applications. So typically, if you take an example of, let's say ICICIbank.com, if you log on to their website using your PC, it has a different look and feel, and if you log on to their iPhone app, it has a different look and feel. If you log on to their BlackBerry app, it has a different look and feel, and so on and so forth. So what Metro is putting more focus on is that the usability aspect, the user experience, should be consistent across all the devices. So for that, I'm not going to be talking about all these, all these guidelines and standards. I'm going to be picking up the real important ones for the sake of this discussion. Let's look at an example of the navigation, the navigation guidelines. I'll take you to the Analytics app. So this is the home screen of the Analytics app. You would notice that the app has different sections. So charts is one section, market data is another section, quick links is another section. So this app has different sections, or in modern UI parlance, these sections are called as hubs. So these hubs are at a higher level, and you could click on to any of these hubs to go into further details. So this kind of a navigation pattern is known as the hub navigation pattern in modern UI, right? Wherein on the main screen you have summed up information, and you could click on various aspects on the main screen or on the hub to explore more details. So that's one navigation pattern. The other navigation pattern is called as the flat navigation pattern. So I'm going to take you to the quick link section, which gives you information about top gainers, top losers, top companies, top funds, and so on and so forth. Now, when you enter into this section, you will be, you'll land into the top gainers page. In order to move on to other pages, what you could do is you could bring up the top navigation bar, and you could quickly flip between different other pages. So you could go to top losers, you could go to top funds, you could go to top companies, so with the availability of this top panel and this kind of a navigation pattern, which is called as a flat navigation pattern, you're able to quickly, tab through different, different pages in an application. So this is the navigation. These are the various navigation patterns that are available. The other important aspect is this whole commanding guidelines. Let's get back to the Orders Manager application. So what the modern UI guidelines are suggesting is that if you have to place any commands, do not place them on the surface of the on the surface of the application. So avoid having command buttons on the main surface of the application. The main surface should be more focused on displaying the content, because that is what is most important aspect of the application. For placing commands, there is a special area in the application which is called as the app bar. So the app bar is something which can come from swiping from bottom of the screen on a touch-based device, or by right-clicking on a mouse or a PC, mouse and a keyboard-based device. So this is the app bar, and these are the kind of command buttons that you would have on the app bar. The guidelines are pretty extensive to the extent that, even if they're extensive to the extent that if you have to add a new entity in your application, your add button should appear towards the bottommost right corner of the screen, and it should look like this. Idea behind having these guidelines is, again, that the user should have a consistency in terms of experiencing in using the application. So when I move on from Orders Manager application to the watch list application, and if I want to add a watch, I should automatically think about doing it by bringing the app bar, and automatically I should get used to the fact that the add button is going to be available somewhere towards the right hand side corner. So it's about consistency in user experience. The idea is not to kill the creativity of the designer or of the developer at all. The idea is consistency in user experience. So that's about the commanding part of it. And as I mentioned earlier, with this kind of a standardization around, it becomes very, very easy for the user to move or to use one application on a PC-based device and move from there to a tablet-based device and to a phone-based device. So that is the importance of the the commanding and the standards. Now, since we've been talking about multiple devices, in the current scenario,